Morning. Very bright, sunshiny day. Not supposed to be a cloud in the sky today, but I can definitely tell already. My name is Jeremy. Welcome to our farm, Cornucopia Orchards. This beauty on this beautiful morning is our house. I've been building for about 2 years now. I'm not working on it straight the entire time, but let me show you where we're at inside. The reason why I'm trying to get some stuff done up on the second floor is to clear out at least these sheets this morning and maybe even get most of those done so that we have a better idea of how many sheets I need to finish out this second floor and the top floor. So I'd sure like to get it, to where it's pretty accurate and I can get this figured out how many exactly we need now versus later. And then, that way we have what we need on the second floor. I would rather have what we need on the second floor and up in the attic and have, if I had to get some more material and have that material be on the first floor where we had to bring it in because then, it doesn't matter. So I'm upstairs in the kids' bedroom, number one, and I'm working on ceiling. I already had these walls. If you remember way back, that's the stairs back there, and we blocked them so that they wouldn't be falling and dying for our kids. And first board went up, and I tried using, I bought a Metabo because a lot of my other tools are Metabo HPT, and I really like the brand. But the Smartdrive, which is a collated screw fastener, I really don't like it. I'm going to blame it instead of my intelligence level because I can't seem to get that thing to not drive a crooked screw. I mean, look at this poor sheet. It kept wanting to push it in, poking it and not driving it, putting it in wrong, hole after hole. And then the only times I did get it to go in right, it was like massively overdriven. So I don't know if it just doesn't like driving at 1 1/4. I mean, it has the setting, but look at that. I don't know what this thing's problem is. Making me upset. And I haven't looked online because the phone that I'm using to record this, it's my old phone and does not yet have, wireless connection out here in the house. We're too far from the shop. And I don't have cellular data, so I can't look up anything. My kids are using my phone downstairs to watch If You Give a Mouse a Cookie because they're monstering if I don't allow that. So I save their TV time for when I want to come down and work on the house on my dad days right now. But at least, this sheet is now in. And now that I've had a chance to use this again and this dust catcher with, a settable spacing on this hole driller, boy, I like that thing. That thing worked great. I'll tell you, this part hasn't gotten any easier. I really should probably figure out again how to adjust this thing down because I got to get way up in order to get this to go on. So that's less than ideal. And I can't tilt it. It's too high. All right, well, here we go. I'm going to do it anyway. Then Damien's trying to get himself squished again. Typical squirrel. That started. Oh, and then there's that thing again. It's the same as before. Screws all along one side. Didn't quite lift it up the rest of the way. I've got a mark here and a notation for myself, so there's the center ceiling light. It's got to measure it. And that should cover pretty easy or erase. And then over here, very difficult to see. See that little indentation right there? That is one of these green buddy marker deal-a-bobs. And we're gonna work on getting that cut out. There's my edge. So before giving this super drive a final destination of the return. Or garbage if they wouldn't take it back, would they take it back? I decided to give it one more try, and with a lot of monkeying around with it, I finally got the exact precise setting, and it seems to be working. So it certainly is not as accurate as doing it by hand myself. However, it is faster, substantially faster. I can go through a sheet pretty quick, and that does certainly make a difference. However, no matter how you fine tune it, it never reaches that same level. Like, I can set it to the right screw size, 1 1/4 in this case, and then fine tune it to the 16th, maybe it's the 32nd on that. I'm not 100% sure, but the smallest marks it has, and it clicks through each one, so you can't go between. And sometimes it will drive it more aggressive than I would like. Now, I have mentioned before, I'm not a drywaller and I'm not a finisher, but I have done both before to varying degrees of success. And I can tell you that the screws where I went too aggressive in seating them came out far worse and tended to result in pops. So I am being very picky and trying to decide. I think what I'll do, and I'll show you this edge, I've fine-tuned it to where it never oversinks it, but it frequently undersinks it. And I think that's what I'm going to drive these with. And then I can go fairly fast and come back and just touch them off with my regular driver. So that's like these. That's still sitting proud. That one was perfect. Proud. Perfect. Way proud, but it had a problem because it was stuck in the corner. You get the idea, and that's what I think I'm going to be doing from now on out. I bought these for the ceilings because, you know, you get fatigued working overhead, and it's nice to get them secured fairly quickly and then get off of the lift. It is very cold today, so I'm gonna get the heater on. So we'll get, we have one little space heater that we've kind of been using. I don't have the HVAC all hooked up yet. We're powering up for liftoff with this little, I think it's a quartz crystal heater. This is the main floor. Got a lot left to go on little bits and pieces in this area, and heading into the hall soon. But we're kind of working upstairs this morning. I'm gonna grab this while I'm here. And main reason I'm working upstairs, even though I'm not done downstairs, it's definitely bouncing around, and I do that a lot, but that's just my personality. Got a little kids door here, they seem to enjoy this. This room's gonna be nice. Lots of light. Our paint test colors. And we ended up choosing none of these four. We ended up going back to Lowe's last night to purchase our paint. And there's just a special that was done today. We got a great deal between a sale and putting it through the volume support program, volume sales pricing, VSP. And we haven't had it tinted yet. We have 2 more white colors that we'd like to try. And these just all turned out to be just a little too wrong for us. It's too cold right now for paint. It's probably about 35, 40 degrees at most. So I'll let it warm up a little bit. Although it's not too bad here in the sun in this room. It's kind of nice. Because we're gonna have my dad, my brother, and my mom. My mom's gonna watch the boys, and my dad and my brother and Casey and I are gonna run our little channel here and then bring the sheets through and then up and then back and through here to get up into the attic, because can't make that turn. You can see I've got a whole bunch of cutoffs from our 12-foot sheets. These are all 3-foot. Already waiting up here on the two sides. I've got the last little bits of insulation. Now, these are leftovers, except for that one that needs to go in up there. And I just need to pop it in at this point. What we did is we had a few scraps, not nearly as many as I thought we would. Casey did a great job using those in the crawl, but we just tossed them up under the top there instead of throwing them away. And that was, you know, that just felt like the right thing to do. We gotta get these windows cleaned so we can appreciate that view. Man, what a view this morning. And there's one more piece of this board on the far side down there that I gotta get put up. You can see that, but other than that, we'll be ready to start slamming these sheets up. I had to get some special screws, 2 inches of foam board to go through in addition to the drywall, and then you need an inch into the I guess that would be the rafters in that particular application. I think I figured I needed 5 more of these paired sheet sets, and then the under attic we're more than likely going to do with these 3 foots. So my collated screw gun and I are becoming closer friends, and it definitely is nice to have. And I could do all the rest of the ceilings, I think, off of just the 2 little buckets that I've got. They actually have a fair amount of screws in them. They're not, I think it was like not quite half again as much the cost on the regular screws versus the collated, so it's not huge. It sure is handy on these ceilings. I'll definitely use them for all the rest that I have on the ceilings at least, and then as we get further along, I'll know, you know, maybe I'll use them on the, use out the remainder on the walls. So I've weakened this sheet. I'm hoping I can still get it to get up onto the machine without any damage to it. Giver. Not getting my face. I don't like that I keep making it to where I stand on the sheet that has the face either. I get dust on it. It's not as nice. Some work to do there, obviously. A couple of those I need. Oh man, it's gonna do that. I'm gonna do it right now. I have some insulation strips. That threw some stuff right in my mouth. Blech. I'd like to get this up first. Can you see it? That beam is not quite perfectly to level to everything that's hanging into it. because it's got this saddle here that holds it up. Now on this side, I avoided a screw right at the saddle because the saddle is also holding it down ever so slightly. I tried to average it out. So I got some screws to correct, but all hung in now. Everything went pretty well. Why did I do that? I literally scored the back of that so that I would have it. I will undo that. This back is scored so that at least on this side it's supported. So if I undo that screw and this screw, I should be able to just break that part off. That was silly. Like this. That way I can have this side fully supported, and then I just needed this side over here to have that crossboard to catch the end, and then it's adequate. It's more than adequate. So a couple of the pieces of insulation that I had up in here had paper, and I didn't want them to have paper. The ones on the outside, those ones I did, because part of that is kind of underneath an area where it's not papered, and a little bit won't hurt. But the vapor retarder should not be between this floor and the conditioned part of the attic. So I knew which ones they were. I ripped them off. I got to stick them back in. And to keep them up, I'm using these little spikes, these little sticks here, just a little correctly lengthed piece of metal, like 24-inch long, because your space between your 24-inch on center joists in the ceiling here are 22.5. And so that gives you a nice little arch and holds that insulation up. Should be placed about every foot, close to the ends as well, regardless. So that will just keep these from falling down. They're not as nice and tight. That's also why I have that strap along the outside. That's another way you can do it. It won't work if it's not the full cavity depth. And this is just R19. It's only, 5 inches, 5.5 inches thick. So that's why I'm doing that. And the reason that it's only R19 is because I didn't need it to be any more than that. That's just essentially sound deadening is all that is, and comfort, because it's air-conditioned space above it on the outer wings. We have our thermal envelope at the roof line, even in those little triangles, and at the wall. Look at this. This makes me so mad. This room is like 12'1", 12'2". So if it were just a hair narrower, then, and if on that side I hadn't butted it like nice and tight to the wall, then I wouldn't have to do is strip this whole teeny tiny strip this whole way down. Boy, that's stupid. So this is a 7 ceiling piece that I've done here so far today, and my speed is definitely going up, which is very fantastic. That tool certainly helps, and just being more confident helps a lot as well. Having the ability to use a smaller, amount of lift, less time on the ladder helps a whole lot. But 7 pieces in about 3.5 hours is a lot faster. I was doing about a piece an hour downstairs on the main ceiling. So that's really exciting. When I come back down here from lunch, I'll try and get these walls up before I have family come. And then that way we have, a really pretty good idea, because I can go look at one of the rooms over there, the twin room. There's 2 rooms, they're almost identical. and see how many sheets I already used because I finished it. And then that'll tell me the other one. The bathroom is going to be mostly done with the green board for the kids' bathroom because children. And then this one, that room is going to be done by go board and green board. That'll leave this room on this floor, and the hallway and the stairs and this closet interior. And I'm not really worried about the interior stuff. If I end up like that closet, if I end up with somewhere to patch, obviously it's going to be that. And if I had to get a few more 8-foot sheets, I can get those up here just fine. I don't think I will, so we'll see. But that's kind of my game plan, I guess. And so this is another kids' room view. These kids are lucky. My boys are lucky. On the other hand, our master suite view is also pretty nice. Got up the road views towards our shop and forest. So it's just us that you're gonna be seeing. And then out this window and this window, it's pretty much just us. There is a house right up in there through the trees. You can barely see the colors of it maybe. And then if you were to look around the corner, there's a house there, but this is a nice spot. Very peaceful. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time.